Hi, it's Mayor Walter Sendzik. Welcome back to our home of Mayor Sendzik. And I hope you've had a wonderful March and early April. And I know the flowers have sprung. It's spring in our city, and it's a wonderful time to be out and about. So this episode, we're going to be talking about Citizens First. And Citizens First is an initiative within the city of St. Catharines. It's about really putting customers who are contacting our city, giving them that kind of customer-centric approach where we can answer their questions, we can get them information in a very timely manner. It's a very actually strong program. It's not unique in municipalities in Ontario, but we were one of the first municipalities to adopt a Citizens First approach. And Cherise Titus is joining us. She is the manager of customer services for the city of St. Catharines. And then after the break, we're going to be talking about about a company in downtown St. Catharines, Garden City Essentials. And Jolene Antle will be joining us, and she is the owner of Garden City Essentials. She's going to be talking about some of the products that she has, and also an approach to recycling that she's brought to our community through her products, and talking about investing in our downtown. So this is a great show. It's going to be an exciting show. And first of all, we have Cherise who's joining us. And she comes from Brampton, where she had a great career, and I think now an even better career with the city of St. Catharines.
Exactly.
She has knowledge related to municipal financial functions, technologies, and procedures, and she is also an important member of our team at the city of St. Catharines. You've been with us since 2017, heading up our Citizens First program approach. And just before we get into that, for those at home, Cherise and I, we were croquet players.
Correct, yes,
And,
very fun day.
You were carrying the team because it was for United Way. And I remember very well that you were able to get those balls through the wickets and do all the fun things, raising money for United Way, but at the same time, carrying me on your shoulders. So it was greatly appreciated. You're a better croquet player than I, and you have the title of the best chili in the city of St. Catharines in terms of city corporate?
Oh, it was just within the Citizens First division, but yes, I did win that chili cook-off that day.
So what kind of chili did you make?
It had a secret ingredient, a little bit of pineapple in it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just told us your secret ingredient?
I did let it out beforehand, but
That's awesome. Are they going to be doing it again?
hopefully, we'd like to.
Well, I look forward to tasting it.
Perfect.
Make sure it comes up to my office as well. So first of all, for those, and I'm thinking a lot of people know what Citizens First is now, but if someone's watching from home going, what is Citizens First? What is it?
Yeah, so Citizens First is the city's municipal customer service division. It was implemented in 2014 and mandated as kind of a one-stop shop for residents or anybody who needs to be in contact with city services. We are multi-channel, so we deal with residents and any customer through the phones, emails, in-person traffic as well. We have 15 staff, customer service representatives, who will assist with a range of services, essentially an extension of all other departments within the city.
Right, and so I think that's the unique thing about Citizens First is that for those who have been in the city for a long time, they would have maybe recognized that calling the city or contacting the city at some point, it would be, what are you looking for? A tree branch came down. Okay, I'm going to connect you now to this department, and then you sit there on the phone and ring, 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 and either you go to someone's voicemail or someone else picks up the phone and they go, oh, you're dealing with that? Oh, I don't deal with that. I'm going to put you over to this person. What we've essentially tried to do, and I think we've been successful with it, is streamline that approach.
Exactly.
So if I'm now the caller and I say, hi, Citizens First, there's snow, my street hasn't been plowed. I'm mad, I'm angry. What would happen?
Yes, so the call taker would take a series of they'd ask you a series of questions, take some information from you about your location, kind of if there's any potential for any pedestrian or vehicular emergency or something like that. Enter that in our work management system, and it would go off to the correct department without that resident having to be transferred to multiple people. So that first line of contact would be established. First call resolution is something that we aim for. So you just call us once, we deal with everything else in the back end, and you can be provided with a reference number and timelines if you would like to call back, but essentially you don't have to. Everything will be dealt with upon that first contact.
Is there a situation where someone will call me back if I request a call back to say, okay, I want to know how you're going to handle this?
Exactly, yeah. So if there was that type of request, we would take your contact information and make sure that we follow up with you so that you have expectations for what to expect going forward.
Okay, so give the viewers an idea of what kind of calls what's the subject matters that you'd be taking on any given day?
It ranges. So, I mean, the most popular topic or most popular call that we get would be tax related. It's about
So
property
what kind of
taxes.
questions would they be? Why am I paying taxes?
Exactly. Why am I paying taxes? Why are they so high? Why are my neighbors' taxes different? But also just account status updates. How much do I owe? When's the next billing date? Stuff like that.
Okay.
And we go from taxes to dog licensing.
So that's another big one.
Exactly. Yeah. We can.
Why am I paying dog licenses?
Exactly.
What else?
Commissioning
No one calls
documents.
about cats?
Not really. No.
See, why do cats get a free ride?
I know they do.
Cats people call about dog licenses, then all of a sudden, well, we're not going to call about cats. Cats are fine.
Exactly. Just the dogs.
So what would be one of the more unique phone calls that you would get through Citizens First?
I mean, on the kind of animal topic, we've received, how many snakes, can I have 13 snakes within my home, and calling to ask if that would be okay within the bylaws, something like that, which is not something that we would allow.
Yeah, so the response is you're not allowed to do that.
Exactly, yes.
Wow, and so is it just phone calls? Like, so Citizens First, I'm automatically think I'm calling into City Hall, but you indicated there's other. Citizens First is a department.
Exactly, yes.
So there's walk-ins.
Yeah, we have walk-ins. So we have a Citizens First counter within City Hall on the second floor. So we received about 20,000 interactions last year via the counter, and that ranges as well. Questions about program registration, getting documents commissioned, making payments towards taxes or water bills or buying parking passes, any of those sorts of things.
And so how many phone calls would you be getting a month if you have that stats?
About a month is about 8,000 on average.
8,000 calls?
Yes.
8,000. See, and this is where some people would say, oh, well, you don't need Citizens First. Citizens First isn't really a function that we should be as part of our operations. But when you look at those numbers, 20,000 people or points of contact in person,
exactly.
8,000 a month coming in for phone calls. And then you also do what would be, I think, emails?
Emails, correct. Emails, we're getting about 70 per day. So we do have a lot of email inquiries as well.
See, and it's all streamlined.
Exactly.
And then from your department, it goes out to the corporation, the other departments, then you feed it back into the citizen.
Exactly, yes, if they require follow-up.
So you've been doing this now since 2017. You've got a good bandwidth. Now there's a new program that you've recently launched.
Yes.
And it's called LanguageLine Solutions.
Yes.
And so tell us a bit about it. Is it simply, tell us a bit, because I was going to try and use some language. I know bonjour, I know ciao, ciao bella, danke is thank you. I'm really limited in terms of, so I couldn't be on that program.
Exactly, and similar to our staff and myself within Citizens First, we have very limited language range, so that's why we have implemented a service like this.
So what is it?
Yeah, 240 languages. We have an interpretation service, both video, so if you come in person or over the phone. We have that language coverage for our diverse community within St. Catharines. So whether that's American Sign Language or Mandarin or German, if you come in to City Hall or you call us on the phone, we can have someone on the phone there to interpret the call so that you're comfortable using, your first language or your native tongue, and as well as that you're confident in that the message that you'd like to be portrayed is coming across clearly. So
how does it work? Is it a three-way call or?
Yeah, so it would be a three-way call. You can connect to somebody in any of the 240 languages within 10 to 30 seconds, so it's not a long wait. And they'll come on the line, introduce themselves, and then assist through the call. If we're in person, we do have like an iPad set up where, for example, American Sign Language, you would have someone there signing, so you could physically see them through the screen and they could see you. So you can have that conversation like that as well.
So what's the response been to that?
Oh, it's been great. It's been very positive.
Really?
We've ranged from other municipalities reaching out to kind of get more information because they've seen the value of it. A lot of the people who come in, they see our signage, have been just amazed at the amount of languages that we are offering, and people have used the service so far and have loved it. It's very easy. It's not something that's difficult. It feels natural with the interpreter there on the other line. So it's been a great response so far.
That's amazing. And so a lot of folks would say, well, I didn't think there would be that much usage on a multi-language system. Mm-hmm. And what it does show is how diverse we really are as a community.
Exactly.
And we're attracting people from all around the world, and there's also people who have been here for a number of years that are still not comfortable maybe in the English language, but the native tongue is an easier approach to getting their answers that they're looking for without getting mixed in the communication.
Exactly, yeah. It was all about making sure that there are no barriers to accessing any of the services within City Hall or the city as a whole, and just making it accessible for everybody.
All right, so you've got anything else? You got language solutions, LanguageLine Solutions, LanguageLine Solutions. Anything else that you're working on innovatively at Citizens First?
Well, I mean, our finance department, which we work closely with, just implemented a new e-billing system for both tax and water bills and accounts, which we've been heavily involved with. So that's been an exciting initiative because now people have the access to some of that information online, and it's just a quick registration process, but Citizens First has been assisting in any technical issues, any technical support, and getting on there with registration. So that's very exciting for us, and we're also looking to eventually expand to other channels, maybe chats. You see the live chats and stuff like that. Just increasing all of our channels so that people can access us the way that they feel most comfortable.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, Cherise, I want to thank you for your leadership with Citizens First. I think Citizens First is one of those programs that when we offered, we really maybe didn't see how much of an impact it would have. But looking at it back now over 6 years, you can see how many people are benefiting from that one connection point into City Hall. It's like calling a business that you're looking for a service, whether it's your cell phone business, whether it's your home internet package, and you have that one point of contact. And that's what we're doing here at the City of St. Catharines. Citizens First, it's about giving you a wonderful customer service experience, and it's being led by a wonderful team. Cherise, really appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us about not just what Citizens First stands for, but also some of the innovation that you're bringing to that portfolio. So if you're looking for more information on Citizens First, you can go on the city's website. There's the phone number that you can call. There's email, citizensfirst@stcatharines.ca. And you could also on social media. There's Citizens First individuals who are following our social media channels, so they'll be able to direct you in any of the issues that you're looking to get information on in the City of St. Catharines. So right after the break, we're going to be talking with Jolene from Garden City Essentials. It's a business that's been around for 3 years in downtown St. Catharines, coming up in this September. And they are doing some pretty cool things, so you're not going to want to miss that. So stay tuned. And welcome back to Our Home with Mayor Sendzik. Thanks for joining us today. And before the break, we had Cherise from our Citizens First talking about that customer service interaction that we're building at the City of St. Catharines. And joining me now is Jolene Antle, and she is the owner of Garden City Essentials in downtown St. Catharines. And so we're going to be talking a bit about the customer experience, because as a business owner in the heart of our community, you specialize in small batch skincare lines and shop specializing in natural beauty, wellness, and eco-friendly lifestyle goods, which is a great addition. 3 years now, almost, 2.5, coming up on 3 in September. You've been in the heart of downtown St. Catharines. So, Jolene, you've really seen some of the shifting, some of the changes that have taken place. And for a lot of folks, I like interviewing entrepreneurs, because you had to make a choice about where you wanted to be located. And you chose James Street, downtown St. Catharines. So how come?
I love downtown St. Catharines. I've lived in different cities. I feel like the downtown area of a city is really the heart of a city in terms of culture, community, energy. It's just, there's more of all of that being downtown, where you can walk from store to store, you can grab a coffee, you can grab a beautiful meal, and there's things to look at and things to do, and you start to become familiar with the people of downtown, business owners, or just patrons of downtown. And yeah, it really feels like a community.
And that's what you're really building with Garden City Essentials as well. So you have a background, you studied at the Institute of Holistic Nutrition, and you have a designation CNP, which stands for?
Certified Nutritional Practitioner.
And so this has allowed you've created your own line of products as well.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's all sort of happened quite organically over the last few years. It really started out before I went back to school. I started creating things for myself in terms of personal care, making soaps. I became really interested in all the natural raw materials that are used, and I really became really fascinated with formulating my own skincare. So I started selling at the St. Catharines Farmers Market.
Right, I remember that.
And that was a really great sort of delve into the community. Yeah, it's definitely grown from there. I continued to run my business while I went back to school and studied part-time, and that's when I became a nutritionist in terms of like, you know, my own health and how I could sort of take care of myself and the community and expand my knowledge about natural wellness.
And so when you opened your store, you've got this sense of products that you want to engage with the community. So give the viewer a sense of, here's what you offer at Garden City Essentials. What can they expect when they come through your doors on James Street?
Right. So basically I created the shop that I needed in my life. And the focus is really on holistic lifestyle and wellness. So I feel like there's something for everybody there in terms of personal care, home care, eco-friendly alternatives for people who are starting out on a low waste or zero waste journey. We have great opportunities for community in our backspace, which we call the community room, where we have lots of pop-ups and little events and educational sessions that we do back there. So people can really expect to find any number of products for their lives, and it sort of all focuses around beauty, wellness, lifestyle, with a little community element in there too.
And so you touched on it's the environmental side. So you've got this this wellness approach to the products, and now I think you've always been focused on trying to also be sensitive about the environmental footprint. So you're embarking on a zero waste journey, which I think a lot of businesses need to adopt. I know at the City of St. Catharines we're working towards a zero waste target that'll be coming in front of council in the next little while. So tell us a bit about the zero waste, because I think it's an important part of your story.
So I often prefer the term low waste because it takes a bit of pressure off the notion of perfection. And in fact, zero waste is very, very hard to achieve, because even if you buy a product, a package-free product isn't necessarily a zero waste product, because raw materials come in packaging. So there's ways of trying to close the loop on these things in production. And there's so many things that you can do in terms of adopting a lower waste lifestyle. And it just really comes down to becoming aware and mindful and making subtle changes over time that are sustainable.
So it's overwhelming for me. So say I'm an individual and I think of reducing the sort of waste. So what is something that you've introduced that can use it as an example of what does waste, reducing your footprint look like? Right.
So, you know, we tell people, use what you have. Don't throw away a product because you're like, oh, it's plastic, or, you know, there's a better alternative. So we want people to use what they have, and then when you run out of something or you need something in your life or your home, you just kind of consciously make a choice to replace it with something that's more sustainable, that has a lower footprint, so less packaging material, more local products. We can definitely help with.
No, and so the zero waste boxes that you have.
Yep.
What would be? Take me through that.
So this is something that was on my radar for a long time. The company that we've partnered with are called TerraCycle. So they're a really cool company that creates new streams to prevent products that wouldn't normally get recycled. They prevent them from going to landfill by creating new raw materials from them and creating new products like something that could be used over and over, even something simple like pallets or park benches. And so a lot of the things that they recycle are things that aren't accepted in the municipality.
Okay.
So everything from like, you know, personal care, tubes, bottles, pumps, all those little bits and pieces that...
They don't go in the recycling?
There's certain things that can, but a lot of people don't realize that recycling is definitely not a perfect system. And
Right.
in fact, statistics say that only 9% of all plastic ever produced has been recycled.
Right, and so that's why we got to move away from plastics.
We need to move away
when
from
possible.
plastics. Yeah. Aluminum is something that's more infinitely recyclable, but you know, you can also do things like refills. But
Right.
back to the boxes, we collect those items from people. We have focused on boxes that make sense for us, like concerning the products that we carry in the shop.
Okay.
But there's so many boxes available, like everything from snack wrappers, dog food bags.
So what are the boxes, what are they, does TerraCycle drop off the box and you fill
No.
it with stuff?
We order them online, so
Okay.
it's a cost that we pay directly.
Okay.
It's just something that we're willing to do
Yeah.
in our efforts to be more sustainable and
And you fill the box,
we fill the box.
and then what happens?
We send it back to TerraCycle,
There, okay.
and then they process it. So they
Wow.
sort, process, and then basically create new raw materials from existing plastics.
So what are you filling the box with at Garden City Essentials?
We have 4 boxes. One is, it's actually a partnership with Gillette and TerraCycle, and this was a free box to us. We just had to apply for it, but people can bring in any brand of razor blade.
I didn't shave today, but yes, okay.
So it's like you can recycle anything to do with shaving
Wow.
in there. So it's amazing. You know, we carry safety razors, and it's such a great option because all you have to do is replace the blades,
Yeah.
which are recyclable. But you can't really put a razor blade in your municipal
can't.
because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So now you can take them to us, and we'll send them back to TerraCycle. They'll recycle them. So we have
Wow.
another one that's oral care, so toothbrushes,
Really?
floss, toothpaste tubes. We have one that's beauty and personal care, so even things like old hairbrushes, hair dryer accessories, those things that would just normally end up in landfill.
Wow. Okay, so I'm really, like, when I say wow, I'm saying wow.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. Okay, so this is fascinating.
It's
so you have
awesome.
4 boxes, and so what you're saying to the public is that if you have items that fit into these boxes, come on in.
Yeah,
Put them in there, look around the store, learn more about sort of well-being and health care.
Different alternatives.
Different alternatives.
And there's no pressure. It's just, you know, sometimes people have to do things within their means. So
Yeah.
it's like one thing at a time. You know, you might want to invest in a safety razor, which has a bit of a price tag, but it's going to save you money in the long run. But you still have to have the funds to buy it in the first place, right?
So you're leading by example. How can other businesses get involved? If you were giving advice to other businesses, saying, "Hey, this is something we could all do."
I think there's a lot of things that we can do. You know, TerraCycle's a great example because they have so many different kinds of boxes. These boxes can be purchased by anyone. Any home, any business can go online to zerowasteboxes.terracycle.ca, and they can purchase these boxes. So I would encourage businesses to bring in boxes that are relevant to the products that they carry.
Right.
You know, it's an expense to your business, but it's like a responsibility that I think it's a mentality that everyone has to take on, that we all have to take responsibility for what we're putting out there, what we're doing in our lives, what we're choosing every day. So that's one way. If you are a business that sells online, there's incredible resources for all eco-friendly packaging. Mm-hmm. So that's something we do at Garden City Essentials. We use no plastic. Our packages now, our orders come in all across Canada. We ship using 100% eco-friendly packaging, biodegradable. We reuse any packaging that we get. We've switched over to eco-friendly receipt paper, so things that don't have bisphenol A, you know, biodegradable, like film-free. It's just little things that we've done. Yeah.
Well,
we
Jolene,
always ask people if they want receipts, if they want bags.
Right.
It's like the little things, and it's amazing how many people say, no, save the paper, or email me a receipt, or no bag, you know, they'll bring their own bag.
Bring your own bags.
Yeah.
Jolene, you are leading by example. I will call you an eco-entrepreneur, and that is something that we need more of in our community. We're trying at the City of St. Catharines. We need more entrepreneurs like you that are not just investing in our community, but also using that opportunity to educate others, customers, other businesses, about how they can lighten their footprint on the environment and at the same time provide excellent customer service. Congratulations. Thank you for coming into our downtown. I think you've done a wonderful job. For those who are looking to see where Garden City Essentials is located, it's on James Street between King and St. Paul. You can't miss it. It's a great place. I encourage you to stop by and bring some of the recycling products that Jolene was talking about with Tetracycle. And that'll be your way of contributing to a smaller footprint, but at the same time learning more about a wonderful shop in our downtown. So it is April. It's time to get out and about. I hope you're just enjoying yourself in our community, and there's a lot to explore and learn. So until the next time of Our Home with Mayor Sendzik, continue to showcase your pride of our community using the hashtag OurHomeSTC. Check it out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You're going to learn a lot about all the different things that make St. Catharines an amazing city. So until next time, take care.